Hi guys, so as we know, the mask for Halloween was revealed fully in the trailer that we got last week, and Trick or Treat Studios have finally been able to post the images of the mask on the website for everyone to see. Now, they weren't going to do that till the end of July, and that's because the trailer that we got wasn't supposed to be released until the end of July, but because there was so much hype for the trailer and for the movie, they decided to release the trailer early. So I'm guessing that's why Trick or Treat Studios was allowed to show the images now. And seeing the images on the website is a lot better than seeing it in the trailer, because we get to see the mask moving in the trailer, which is great, but it's still hard to see because it's moving so fast. But with the Trick or Treat Studios images that they've posted online, we get to see a lot of the detail, and we can get a good comparison from the 1978 Halloween mask to this mask. Now, they're not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfectly worn after 40 years. A mask 40 years later from 1978 is probably going to be disintegrated unless it's been looked after, but we get to see what it looks like. We get to see all the little details from the first Halloween to this one. We all know that the Halloween masks from Halloween 2 onwards were all completely different, and as annoying as that is, we had to accept it because the masks were moving with the times. But I'm glad with this one they're staying grounded. They're not moving with the times. They're not giving us a futuristic mask. They're giving us a mask that is almost identical to the 1978 mask and how it would look 40 years later in the movie world, not in real life, in the movie world. Now, the mask from Trick or Treat Studios is probably the closest you're going to get to the movie, and that's because they're using the movie master, which is the mold that they use for the film. They've used the exact same mold in Trick or Treat Studios, so that the mask they're selling is identical to the mask worn in the movie, basically. So if we're comparing this mask to the 1978 movie, if you're looking at the Trick or Treat Studios mask, it's obviously worn. A lot of people are saying it looks like the Rob Zombie mask. It does in a way, but they're not trying to make it look like Rob Zombie mask, and they're not trying to give a reference to the Rob Zombie mask. It just coincidentally looks like it because of the colouring, and it is coloured like that because it is 40 years old. But you can see clearly at the mask's left hand side, not our left hand side, but the mask's left hand side, you can see the hole in the neck, which is his injury he got from Laurie in the first one, which is good detail. That was in the trailer as well. I didn't notice it in the trailer because it was too dark in the scene that we saw it, but again, it's just so good that they're going into this much detail. You see the eyes, they're not level. That's perfect because the eyes weren't level in the original one, which is great. And some of the future masks from Halloween 2 onwards, Halloween 4 onwards, the eyes were more level. I think they tried to make it look like a perfect mask, but it wasn't a perfect mask. It was the Captain Kirk mask, and the eyes weren't level, so that's great. They've kept the detail in there. You can see the cheekbones are slightly lowered down, which is great, the exact same as the original. The mask from this movie and the original reminds me of Kiefer Sutherland and a little bit like Donald Sutherland. I think that Kiefer Sutherland's face looks a little bit like the mask, and it reminded me of Kiefer Sutherland's face reminded me of the Halloween mask from 1978, and looking at this Trick or Treat Studios mask, it looks like Kiefer Sutherland once again. So it's perfect. To me, it's the best looking mask since the original, and that's a bit of a contradiction because my favourite mask is Halloween H2O. Not because I think it looks the best, I think it's more nostalgic for me. Halloween H2O and the mask itself, they're a product of their time, of the late 90s, and that's probably why I love the Halloween H2O mask. Not the CGI mask and not the alternative masks, but the main mask that they used in H2O. And up until that point, the H2O mask was the mask that was more close looking like the original than any other mask. So you can mock and knock the mask all you want, but the H2O mask was the closest to the original until now. What I really like about this mask as well is the hair on it. It's got that nice side pattern that the original had as well. My mask doesn't have that for the H2O mask, and a lot of the H2O masks didn't. It was more slicked back or bushy, but this mask again, they're knocking it out of the park with the detail in this mask. It's great. There's not much more I can say about it, guys. It's just so identical to the original. It's unbelievable. Now, if the movie's not great, the movie's not great, but one thing that they are really doing is showing a lot of attention to detail, not just with the mask, but with Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney's walk. Everything about this so far looks aesthetically pleasing, and the mask is no exception. What do you think of the mask, guys? Do you think it looks good on its own? Do you think it looks identical to the original? And where would you rank this in the list of masks? I might have to do another ranking because my masks ranking always changes as with every other listing, but I really do highly rate this mask so far. I'm not going to rank this mask until I see it on the big screen, but so far it's looking like one of the top 3 masks in the Halloween franchise. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching again, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.